All right. Welcome everybody to Physics 2A. I'm going to be your instructor. My name is Matthew Bowe. I have a little bit about me later on in the slides. If the screen looks a little dim, it'll be fixed by next time we meet on Thursday. So hopefully that will brighten up a bit. But today it's not going to be that long. We're just going to talk about some sort of just class basics. It's going to be a relatively easy, short day today. One thing to also note is, I'll talk about this a bit more too in detail, is that I'm going to be always recording my slides and the audio, so what's being said in class. So if you ask a question, chances are it might be heard on a recording for whoever wants to view it later. So let's go over introduction to the class. I'm going to go over about 4 key points. You guys can take notes if you want. The first one, I'm sure, even though it's only the second day, I'm sure everyone's already been sort of drilled in to your daily school life, how we have to act on campus. We're always going to be wearing a face mask and things regarding COVID safety. So I'm going to go over a couple of this stuff, a bit of this stuff, and we will then go into stuff on the course. So vaccinations, so everyone on campus, you're all enrolled in the class, so it seems to be that everyone has showed their vaccination status. Either you have shown, one shot or exemption or whatever by August 20th. That day has already passed. There's also a second day for people who are in between shots. So that is something I was just thinking I would bring up. Health screening. Everybody, it's like including me, we have to do a health screening before we come to campus. So I have an app on my phone. I just go through it in within a minute and answer some questions about how I'm feeling that day. If I've come into contact with anybody with some sort of illness or even COVID, this will just sort of keep everyone sort of safe. If you do happen to not get a green check mark and you get a red X, there are then other following steps you could take that will, first off, you're going to be, I think that's the next part. Yes, so if you have a suspected case of COVID, or maybe you were around somebody, this is on the syllabus, so I have this online. You go to that link and fill out something, fill out a little form, and then you get sort of actual documentation about why you might be missing class for up to 2 weeks, because you will need to be staying home, need to be isolated, so that way you don't bring any sort of badness to class, to everyone else. Also, if you do happen to instead of getting a green check mark, you get a red X on that health screening, you just email me, you let me know right away, and I can if there's maybe a quiz that day or an exam, as long as you let me know beforehand, I can perhaps schedule things around you guys. So the key word is beforehand. And also, it's the end of the day. Everyone's probably tired of wearing the masks already. I have spare masks up here. These are meant for if you just forgot them. They're not going to be like a regular supply. I think I only have this box for me. if it comes to where I need another box, I can deal with that myself. But this is not like a daily take one whenever you come to class. You guys should have your own masks. Right. I think that is pretty much it with the safety stuff. Is there any questions on sort of what I've just covered a bit? It's probably, we have like 30 emails already all the way up to school starting. So I think everyone's decently caught up on this. All right. So a little bit about me. There I am. You can't see me because the screen is dark. Maybe this will help. I'll just flash it. Anyway, I figured I'd show a picture of my face since I can't not have a mask in class. I have been going to Fresno State for about 5 years. I graduated. You guys can just call me Matt if you want. I've been going to Fresno State for about 5 years. I transferred here from Fresno City College. I got my bachelor's degree in physics, and then I just kept doing school, and then I got a master's degree in physics. And that was fall of 2020. Well, actually, I got my degree in spring of 2020, and that's, you guys remember, that's right when the pandemic was starting. So I've been sort of out of school for all of the, procedures, but I have been teaching also. I've been teaching lab classes for about 4 years. Typically, you find me in the other rooms. This is one of the first lectures I've done. I've done a online, Zoom lecture. That's way different. I feel like I'm a video editor instead of a teacher when I'm doing the Zoom lectures. So this is one of the first in-person lectures I've done. Other than being here at Fresno State, I have done research in sort of rainbow optics. So here's a diagram from some research I've done. That is a water droplet, and this is actually how a rainbow forms in the sky. If you guys find this interesting, you can ask me later. But it's basically like light hits a water droplet in the sky, and it's reflected back at you in a bunch of different angles. And I found this super cool. That's why I did my research in it. And so my research was basically like very hands-on. I was one to make experiments. So I'm very hands-on. I like seeing a problem. I like being able to actually manipulate things in front of me. So that's part of the experiment that I did. Yeah. Outside of school, a little bit about me. I like board games, video games, any sort of game, tabletop role-playing games. I play D&D. I do all sorts of, any sort of nerdy thing you could think of. I've probably tried it once. So we got games on one side. On the other side, you can't see it, you got hiking and camping. Those are some really good pictures I thought I took of a trip to Yosemite this past summer. What else? Other things, there's dirt biking. Also can't see it. Anyway, I also like making things on my free time. This is a gift I made for my sister. It's an owl made out of spoons. There, I'm going to show that off. There's an owl made completely out of spoons. I welded them all together. And a chessboard.
You made the chessboard?
I did. Yeah. So, enough about me. I just wanted to show, since I'm going to be up here a lot of time just talking about physics all the time, to show you that I am a person. Even though I'm wearing a mask, you can't see my face most of the time. If you guys have any problems, you let me know. I'll try to help you out the best I can. And that goes into what to expect in this course. First off, how do you find me? How do you contact me? Here's my email. And here are my office hours. The office hours are going to be over Zoom. They didn't give me an office here. So I'm going to be doing it from my home, in my bedroom. So if you have any questions, just let me know. I have a Zoom link in the syllabus for the office hours. If you have a question like outside of those, you just email me anytime. What do you need for the class? So the big things that you need, things that will, make or break your grade, is you're going to need the homework, the online homework service. So that's going to be this textbook, WebAssign combo. So just go on to Canvas, if you haven't already. Go on to Canvas, and I have a thing that says WebAssign on the front page. So go and follow that. I have steps on how you can get that homework service set up. So we have, homework in a book. We're also going to be needing some Scantrons, about 3 of them. This is just I don't have one. The bookstore closed on me. I don't have one to show you, but they're the long green Scantrons, the basic ones. I need at least 3 of them. I say at least 3 of them because they always end up crumbled in my bags. Yeah. Right.
Can you say something about the Scantrons?
Yeah.
They have free Scantrons in the ASI office if anybody ever needs them.
Okay, so free Scantrons in the...
It's located on the 3rd floor of the USU, the ASI office.
So is that USU?
Yeah, USU 3rd level, so 3rd floor, and it's the ASI office.
Okay, you're going to get a wave of people coming in there tomorrow. All right. Everyone good? Attendance is also another big one. I'm not, really strict on you guys being here. I probably won't take roll most of the time. And also, us coming out of a pandemic is making it otherwise complicated. So I'm going to phrase it like this, and however you guys want to interpret it. So the course, I'm going to be here in person all the time. The exams and quizzes are in person, so you have to be here to take them. However, I am always going to be recording the lecture and the slideshows, and whatever I write, I have a tablet that will show up. So you'll be able to see those recordings later on. If you have questions, you can also review it. If you would prefer to be home and just viewing those recordings, that's not wholly a bad thing. I'm going to say that I am going to be doing like a lot of physical demos up here. So on this big table. So there's going to be a lot of things that the recording's not going to see. I've had enough video editing. So I'm going to focus on whoever's in class. That's who I'm teaching to. Also, see if I get farther away from my computer, the audio is going to be worse. So I'm going to phrase it like this, that I think this is about everybody. This will be as full as the room will get for all of the tests. You have to be here in person, all the quizzes. You have to be here in person. However, a recording is available.
It's nice to have that available if someone is sick. Or
Exactly,
you know,
yeah.
you have, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not for something to do all the time, but if you have.
Yeah. Okay. That sort of leads into this next point, is that if you're not here for those tests in person, you miss the test. That's the point. Is we're going to be here. On the paper, this is scheduled as an in-person class, so I have to make the tests in person.
Will you tell us ahead of time when the quiz is?
On Canvas. So you go to Canvas. I have a schedule already on the homepage. Yeah. So I have highlighted when quizzes will be and when tests will be on the homepage on Canvas. Unless you have an actual documented reason that you're going to miss a quiz or a test, you let me know ahead of time, and I can move it around whatever's happening for you. Here's another big one. What everyone's wanting to know. Homework is, I'm expecting about one homework assignment a week. That's not too bad. That means we're going to have probably about 12-ish homeworks. Not horrible. Quizzes, we're going to have about 3 of them. Or no, sorry, we're on a lab. Your lab for this class. I don't. Actually, who's in my lab? I think I have one. I have a couple. So there's a separate lab section or course. So whatever grade you end up in that lab, that will turn into this 15%. Whether or not you get full 15 or a part of that 15%, that's where that lab score is going. Then we get to quizzes. 3 quizzes. I have them on the schedule already. They're highlighted. The quizzes will be on about a chapter or 2 of material, and I want to see what you guys know for the quizzes. That's why they're worth sort of a little bit less. So it's going to be about half an hour quiz, no notes, no anything. It's just you writing on your page for this quiz. Yeah. Then we'll get to the exams. They're worth a lot more. October 14th. The exams are worth a lot more. I'm going to let you guys have a formula sheet. You can make your own formula sheet to bring in for that, the exams that we do in class. So they'll sort of help out in that way. 14th, I think this one's November 23rd. And then the final is going to be on pretty much the whole course material. Yeah. What else? All right, and this is the final part of this section. It's just simple. Students with disabilities, if you have a disability and they haven't contacted me already, you can let me know. You can email me. I can set up, additional time, any sort of requirements that you need. You go to Students with Disabilities on Fresno State website, or you could call the library. Yeah. Other thing is like cheating. I don't think there's too many cases where we will have a problem like this. It's not a completely packed class, and I think cheating would only occur on, or it would be, fairly significant with tests. But in general, say no to cheating. If you try to make any work that looks like your own, it's okay to work with people on your homework, but like I said, when we get to doing the quizzes in person, that's just you and the problem. So it's just making sure you understand the material. Okay. So that, and the final slide. What to expect from physics? How many people is this your first physics class ever? All right, we got a lot of new people. So, how many kind of are scared of physics? Maybe they think they already don't like it. Yeah, it's okay. You can just keep your hands up. It's fine. Now, I think there's this sort of misinformation around physics. It's hard, it's too much math, it's really boring. But something that really makes me enjoy physics is how it describes pretty much everything. So whatever your major is, if you're going into engineering, you're going into nursing, you're going into biology, chemistry, geology, anything. All of these things have physics properties and things happening. In your daily life, we have to deal with physics. I'll describe physics and get into the beginning of this section on Thursday. But physics is a description of motion and how the universe works. So from your mundane daily life to some very extreme and cool examples, I just put them all on one slide. A bunch of things that I think are cool. You can't even see. Anyway. So we have some really cool examples I put up front. So top right, that is steam pressure inside of a tanker railroad car. If you close off the lid of it, let it cool down, it actually will catastrophically fail and crunch in on itself. We have a scene from Mythbusters down in the bottom left. It's one of my favorite shows. They cut a car completely in half with a rocket. Some of the things on wave optics. This is something we're probably not going to get to. That's sort of how light behaves. Light can act as both a particle and a wave. So as it sort of hits a surface, one side hits it before the other side of that white beam, and so it will spread out into all of the colors of the rainbow. What else? The structure of an atom, just basic things from chemistry are all described from physics. And this one, top left, I don't know what it is anymore. It switched videos. That was the formation of the solar system. Right. Oh, I forgot to mention the bottom right. That's a person walking on a tightrope between two hot air balloons. So why do hot air balloons fly? Why does the guy fall to the ground? Why does gravity do what it does? And there's also some other physics in there with balance and torque, like he's doing with his arms.
Did he die?
No, he's got a parachute. It's ominous. They just cut the video right before he puts the parachute on. Yeah. So I'm trying to bring some enjoyment. I want to show you guys that physics isn't something to be afraid of. It's not something that you should you know, 10 years from now, be like, oh, physics. Back in college, I hated physics. I never went. I never did anything. I want you guys to enjoy showing up. I want you to enjoy what we're going to be doing in the class. So much that maybe the math isn't that bad, because what we're talking about is very interesting. Physics is everything. So I want it to be interesting to you. And if you're having a hard time trying to figure out, it's just not interesting to me, well, you let me know, and I'll try to find the physics that you're interested in, and I'll bring it to class. So this is just, 6 pictures. This is minuscule amounts of examples.
What is that middle one?
The middle one, top middle, that's just a really rough estimate of an atom.
Oh.
So just a small, minuscule atom. So what if I take, a rock, I cut it in half, I cut the rock in half, and I keep going, I keep cutting things in half till they're.
I know what happened.
And it's something that is, before we were able to actually see an atom, something that we can just only think about. But now we're at a state of technology, we can actually see a real atom. I think I'll bring a picture of one next class. But we can actually now see what an atom looks like. It doesn't look like that at all. Okay. Are there any questions about the class, about anything, before I let you guys go? A very easy day today.
I like physics already.
Awesome.
Does this mean we need to watch next lecture?
Yeah, you gotta watch all, 20 seasons? No. No, yeah, I highly recommend Miss Mythos.
I watched that.
Well, yeah, that's amazing.
I my favorite is one.
Yeah, so you guys have any questions, you can come down and ask. Otherwise, you're free to go. I'll see you guys all on Thursday.
Are you teaching Wednesday math?
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh my gosh, awesome. I love that.
I designed